So people have been asking me how to promote their music with YouTube ads for literally months, almost a year at this point. And I haven't done a video on it because I hadn't really explored with YouTube ads for quite a while. And more recently, I came up with a way to actually do it because I didn't want to run ads on this channel promoting my music, because the channel isn't really it's not really for the music fans, right? Most of the content I show on this channel is for you, the fellow music artist. So I made a new channel to promote my music, and I ran some ads, and we're going to go through the data, and then I'm going to show you how to set up the campaign, and you can decide if you want to do it yourself. So we'll just jump right in. So this is Google Ads. If you don't know how to get there, you go to ads.google.com and you set it up. It's not very hard. I did it like a decade ago, so I don't really remember what the process is. Not literally a decade ago, but a while back. And what I have here are some campaigns that I've run in the past few weeks. I do have way more campaigns than this, but I've added some filters so that I can clear up the view a little bit and show you what's going on. So there's two main types of YouTube ads you can run. There's display ads, as they call them, or actually rather scratch that. They're discover ads, and those are like the search-based ads. So if someone types in like electronic music, if you don't have YouTube Premium, if you're scrolling through the search results, there'll be some at the top that are actually ads. And when you're on a video and a little video plays before your video, that's called a skippable in-stream ad. So those are the two main placements you can do on YouTube, and I tried both, and that's kind of the purpose of this. So these top three campaigns are for my song Neutron, which I did all skippable campaigns, just testing out various different parameters. We'll go through those in a sec. And then the other one was for my song You, was as a discover campaign, so the more search results thing. And I've said it for a while that if you want to promote your music on YouTube, even though I haven't done it for a long time, the best way to do it is to do it through this discover ad strategy. So let me just give you kind of an overview of all these stats that we can take a look at here. You can see I've paused these campaigns, and you'll see why shortly. This is the amount of interactions that we've gotten, engagements and views. We have a cost for the total campaign. Some of these I turned on and turned off at different intervals. Then I added a column to do the number of views. There's this columns button, and just like Facebook ads, you can customize what columns are here. It's really overwhelming. There's a lot you can do. And so we get the number of views. We get earned likes. This is like if someone clicks the like button on the video, because that's, the ad's not promoting likes. Those are all earned values. Earned subscribers, that's if someone sees your ad and then subscribes to your channel. Earned views, earned playlist additions, and earned shares. Now there's also video play percentages, and there's also clicks. And clicks only make sense for the in-stream variety, right? Because if someone clicks on a discover ad, that's really the only option. So if a view really is a click for the discover ad campaign, but for the skippable ones, a click is like someone sees the ad and then clicks to go and watch the whole thing. That's going to be important. Now, another thing to point out is that I did a conversion campaign for this Neutron one. So this really wasn't it was a skippable in-stream ad. However, it wasn't actually promoting to go to the YouTube video. So it was promoting to go to like a landing page, and then when they would convert, they would go over to Spotify or Apple Music. So that's all the data that we have to work here. So there's a lot of different ways we can interpret this, but I'll break it down. I'll do my analysis here, and hopefully this makes sense to you. Feel free to dispute in the comments. So this one was going for conversions, and these two were really the main skippable ones, but we can kind of bundle these three together. The most important results I care about are not the views, which are here, and it's also not the cost per view, which is here. I care more about the earned stuff and the engagement, because you can get views on a YouTube video for less than a penny. Like literally, it's rounding up here. If you were to do the math on the number of views and the cost on some of these, you would find that it's less than a penny. So they're not really valuable though, because if people don't stick, like what's the point? It doesn't really make sense. So I care more about all these other metrics. So if we go to the earned likes, obviously we could do some math and calculate the cost of a like per dollar, cost of a subscriber per dollar. It's a little harder there because they estimate earned views and other earned metrics per dollar. But it's a little wishy-washy. So in general, you're going to have to kind of take my word on some of this stuff. I went through and I checked, because you can do a date selector and literally pick days, since they only show 1 through 20. So if I shot a 1 through 20 on any given day, I know that there was at least one subscriber gained on that specific day for that campaign. So I went through and I kind of did some mental math and found that the Discover campaign was getting way more subscribers on the channel than the other campaigns. And when I verified this, this is the other channel I did. It's literally just Andrew Southworth Music. It's just going to be a channel for only like music stuff, not music marketing stuff. And if we go to the, actually we'll go to the analytics on the page. We are up to, I think, 15 subscribers now. Yeah, 15 subscribers. We've gained 14 in the last 28 days because I subscribed to myself when I made this channel. So there's 14 new people gained. My rough math, or rough kind of analytics looking, my conclusion was that about 10 to 12 of these 14 gained were from this Discover campaign, not the skippable campaigns. So in terms of subscribers, Discover campaigns seem to be the way to go. Now also, I mean, you could do this math out. This campaign was $46, we got 3 likes. This campaign is $90 so far, it's gotten 21 likes. And no matter which way you multiply this out, in terms of likes on a video, the Discover ad is the way to go. There's other metrics, earned views. This is a little more expensive than these in terms of earned views, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure the value of this as much as it sounds like it should be, because it doesn't make sense as much for the skippable ones. I think when it says earned views, it means someone just clicks to watch the video, because just to kind of show you here, if I go over to the clicks, it's only 2 on this one and 4 on that one. So I don't know how I would have possibly gotten 27 and 22 here unless someone like rewatched the ad, you know? So it's, or maybe they can search up the channel and find it differently, but it seems a little wishy-washy, that earned views metric. But either way, the UDiscover one did get more. And another factor is I only have 2 videos live on this channel at the moment. This one isn't actually published yet. Because what I'm doing is going back and releasing all of my music videos and just music, you know, throughout the next few months. I'll be getting it all on there and then getting an official verified artist channel for my music. So moral of the story, you know, from so far you can see the Discover ad is definitively winning. Now we can look at the video play percentages, and this tells a completely different story, but I have a theory of why this is. So you can see in general for these skippable ones, way more of these people are making it further through the video. And it's weird, right? And even if I go on here, and let's look at the analytics for Neutron. If we go to engagement, we can look and we can see our average view duration is, or average percentage viewed is 70.8%, so it's roughly 71%. If we go to U, analytics, engagement, it's 8.3%. So the skippable one is getting me way more high percentage viewed, and I think what's happening here is that it doesn't count the people who actually watch it in an ad in that metric. They only count the people who click, and only the people who click are the ones that are most interested. So, and another way to look at this, if I go to the analytics for this video, I can go to engagement, and this is a relatively new feature, but if you click see more down here, you can actually see skippable video ad versus organic, and you can see like the organic view duration is much higher than the skippable video ad view duration, which makes a whole lot of sense. So I think, I don't know exactly what they're doing there, but I just wanted to point out the fact that this is strange. This is not what I expected. What I did expect, however, kind of, is that if you look at the comments, or sorry, let's look at the likes and dislikes. This is the Discover campaign song. Now, it could be the fact people think it's a worse song, but in general, I think it's that this one shows up in search, so people don't watch the video, like they haven't heard of it until they've watched the video, right? Whereas with this one, they're hearing the song and clicking on their own. So if they land on this page, they already decided they liked it. Whereas on this one, they're just seeing the thumbnail, clicking it, and then they learn if they like it or not. So this is why, like, there's 26 likes/dislikes, but it's only got a 77% like ratio, which is pretty low, like very, very low. I've never really had that on any of like this channel's videos necessarily. But this is pretty bad, but again, like, you're putting your music out there, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it's going to hurt you necessarily, but this is something you'll have to wrestle with. Now, again, it could just be this is a bad thumbnail for this song. It could be that people think this is a bad song. But if we look at the actual comments I've gotten, this is kind of the other part of the story. Some of these people, I don't think I know any of these people. They're not from my channel because I've never shared this channel before on this channel. the one you're watching now. I've never shared this channel. So these are all strangers. And there's this person that says nice song on Neutron. This person said nice on you. And then they went to another, or they also commented again on there. This person commented on you, amazing. And then the same person from you went on Neutron and left 2 more comments. So these are all new people, and they're all giving positive engagement. So, you know, this is more valuable to me than just regular views, this kind of engagement. Now, let's go to the analytics, and we're going to dive through some stuff, and then we're going to go into I'll show you how to set up the campaign. But let's look at these analytics. We can go into the reach, and we can see that 98% of the views have come from YouTube ads. So this is pretty much all YouTube ad data. This is really weird. I don't know why Samsung email is sending this. Suggested videos. Apparently I'm getting some traffic from other music, which is kind of interesting. And there's also playlists that have my music in them. So I don't really know where that's coming from or how that's happening. But it's kind of cool to see it. Like, this channel has essentially zero organic reach. It's just all ads and people finding it on their own accord. Like if they were to search for something and it happened to come up. And you also can see the country spread here. So this is kind of there for your reference. You can probably see that I'm getting at that in general, the Discover ads seem to be the way to go. And there's a million variables you can tweak. So I'll open this up for a sec, and then we'll dive into me showing you how to make this campaign. So if I actually forget, I think here I did by audiences, and I just targeted straight. Actually, I made a custom audience, this is kind of a newer feature to Google Ads. It's called a custom, I think it's just called a custom audience. You can type in like some search terms, and it used to be you'd put these in as keywords, but now you can just put in like interests and websites and other things like that. And so I just kind of guessed like what types of songs and searches people might do for this. And you get this demographic data on the side, so you can decide if you want to launch with it. So that's how I made that. Now you can also go in and you can specify like location. So these are the countries I decided to run in. And you can see the view spread across and the various amount of money that was spent. In each, you can't get the granular data that you can in every view and everything. Like we can't see all the video engagement data like we could on the general view, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So next, I think we'll get into actually doing a campaign from scratch so you can see kind of what goes into it. But first, here's a message from this video's sponsor, Skillshare. So I don't do sponsors very often unless I think it makes sense for the viewers of this channel. And Skillshare makes a lot of sense because as artists, we have to have this very diverse spread of skills. Like a lot of us need to learn video editing. We need to be able to make thumbnails and Instagram pictures. We need to kind of know photography and like videography. We need to know how to do all this stuff in music, this marketing. So Skillshare kind of made sense. Because I think, like, I mean, general learning is good for everyone, but for musicians and artists, I think it's especially important. So what is Skillshare if you haven't heard of it before? Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. They do have a whole bunch of courses that they promote, but for me, the ones that stood out, and I think will benefit you most in relation to this video, is that they do have a lot of stuff on Google Ads. They also have courses on Facebook Ads. They have courses on copywriting, if you need to learn how to write like the actual text, the copy that's in your ads. And of course, you know, if you're a musician, you need to learn how to use certain music production tools and video editing. And they have essentially a course for everything that you could possibly imagine. But in particular related to this video, if you're looking to brush up on the basics of this Google ad stuff, there's a couple options in there that I think are worth checking out if you want to sign up to Skillshare. And also, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of a premium membership so you can explore your creativity. Now, back to the video. So now let's actually go ahead and make that campaign. So what we're going to do is click this plus button right here and click New Campaign. The specific type of campaign that I use is product and brand consideration. There's difference, like you could use brand awareness and reach here, but the pricing and the way it's set up is a little bit differently. Like the way you're charged is a little bit different. So I went with product and brand consideration. So then we just click video. Display runs on like websites and stuff, but we're focusing on YouTube. Now, there's a couple options here. We're going with influence consideration. I'm not going to get into that. You can read that when you're setting this up to see if you have a need for the other ones. So the way that we're pricing this is maximum CPV or maximum cost per view. This is why we selected product and brand consideration, because the other way is target CPM, which is like you set a number per 1,000 views. And it's just kind of a different way of thinking about it. But yeah, we'll get to that more in a sec. So we're just going to call this campaign something. And I'll just call it YouTube test campaign, because I'm not actually going to click the final publish button because I don't need this campaign. Now you put in the campaign total. You can also do a daily budget. You know I'm a fan of daily budgets, so I can change things as I go. You can also set start and end dates as well, which might be good because the approval time the first few times you do this is slower than like Facebook ads. Now I've noticed that Google Ads will approve my stuff in like 6 hours or something. It used to be it would take more than 24 hours, like sometimes multiple days. You can select your countries. You can just do all countries, or you can do like US and Canada, or you can actually just manually type in countries. I'm just going to type in all here. This is kind of up to you. Again, you saw when I showed you the data, I went with a list of countries. I went with just kind of, I guess, richer countries, so to speak. You can filter by languages. So I'm going with English because my music's in English. And then this kind of gives you an insight into how YouTube works for like content creators. Like, you know, there's all the whole like demonetization thing and limited ad reach if you're a monetized YouTube creator. This is how advertisers actually see it. You know, you can choose to be on edgier content, or you can choose to be in standard content or limited content. Like if you have a very, I don't know, family-friendly brand, you don't want to be associated with something. So sometimes I'll go with standard. I forget if I went with expanded or standard. I think I've done a couple of both. Next I'll scroll to the left a little bit. You can also exclude some stuff. I went ahead and excluded live streaming videos and embedded YouTube videos. You can also exclude it for different types of ratings, but I haven't messed with that. There's some additional settings here that I haven't really messed with too much, but you can control specific devices. And there's another way to do that, which I'll show you after. So just like Facebook ads, you know, you get your campaign, you get an ad group, and you get an ad. Where in Facebook, it's called an ad set and an ad. So now we're going to define our ad group. I'm just going to call this like, I don't know, test. Name it something relevant, of course. Of course, you get to define your demographics. Typically for my music, I was doing something like this age range. And then we get into audiences, and this is where you actually define who you're going to be seeing. There's a lot of different options here. You can go into affinity and browse media entertainment, music, and choose a genre of music. But these are pretty broad, right? Like we'll see once this selector, but like this isn't based on the budget, but 10 billion impressions are possible per week. Again, not based on budget. Those are possible impressions. But it's a huge audience, right? So let's just go here, and you'll see this populate. I want to let you kind of see how this adjusts. So the CPV bid is the maxed cost per view. Just like Facebook, Google is a bid system. It's an auction. However, you actually get to define your auction, whereas in Facebook, it's kind of behind the scenes in most of the campaigns. So maximum CPV bid, I think I went with 0.03. I might have gone with 0.02. If you choose a number too low, your ads just won't run. You'll have to up it, and then they'll start running. If you go too high, you might waste more money. But in general, if you go too high, they won't like just spend the most you give them. Like if I typed in like 0.25 cents, they're not going to charge me 25 cents per view. It kind of expands the amount of people you can target. But I'll go with 0.03. I think that's what I did for my U campaign. And now we have to put in a YouTube video. So what you're going to do here is you're going to grab your video, get the shareable link, back to Google Ads, and paste it in here. You're going to do video discovery ad. I just used the video thumbnail. I think I did You by Andrew Southworth. I forget what I typed in here. I think I did something like official music video out now. I don't really remember exactly what I did, but something kind of cheesy like that. So now we actually start getting metrics, and you can see how this cost per view actually factors in. If we go to 0.01 here, you'll see the numbers adjust. It's still spending 95% of our budget. If we went to 0.0023, oh, actually can't. Okay, cool. But if we go to 0.25, it still doesn't go up to 25 cents. It's still saying our average CPV is between 1 cent and 4 cents. So like 0.02 would probably be good in this circumstance to spend our budget and keep our cost per view in control. And you also get a view estimate up here to see how things shake out. So now let's go back up here, and we'll see how when we tweak the targeting, the actual estimated performance changes, because this is kind of an important thing. It's not exact, but it's a good indicator. So we're at, I'll go by the minimum number, 5,200 views. If we remove EDM, I don't know how it'll actually change. 5,300. So in that case, it doesn't do much. But now I'm going to show you one of the different types of targeting. And this is the custom audience thing that I showed you earlier. We're going to create a custom audience. And let's just call this YouTube test. Let's just say it's, I don't know, I'm going to make up a type of song. Let's say it's a death metal song, or not a death metal song, but like a hardcore metal genty type of thing, just so I'm not using what I did before. So I would type in like periphery maybe and see if anything comes up as an interest. Periphery band, that's an interest. You can also just type in periphery as a search term. It'll go in there. Maybe if you're doing like Tool band, new album, Tool bands. Yeah, let's go with that. And then we can kind of go in and, you know, just fill in the Devil Wears Prada. Hopefully that's going for the music. No, it's not. This type of music. But you know, you kind of get the idea. You put in a bunch of search terms here, and things start showing up. I'm just kind of putting in some random ones. Again, I'm doing a makeup song. I'm not actually making this for my song You. Asking Alexandria. Let's go with band official. And then we'll put in the actual search term. So now we get some numbers. Weekly impressions that are possible. This doesn't factor in our budget. 10 billion to 1 trillion. 69% male, 34% 18 to 24, 70% non-parents. And we get some topics that are related to this. Now I'm just going to click save. And when you do this, you're going to lose your, or actually I forget if you lose this here, your estimated performance. It actually still stays here. So our numbers actually went up by having this targeting. So, you know, again, these are ballpark numbers. As you can see, it's a very big range, but you kind of get an idea of when you put something in there, you can see how your numbers fluctuate. Put terms in there that are relative. I think they recommend putting in 15 to 20 different things. I forget where I read that. I thought it was here, but you can, you put in 15 to 20 of these things and you get a pretty nice specific sector of people to target. And that's what I did for my U campaign, whatever it was called, campaign. So I wouldn't mess with the keywords because now keywords have been moved to this custom audience thing. For topics, you can go in and you can add in another topic as well. And then for placements, this one is really cool. And this is something I think you should explore. Don't do this in the same ad group. If you're going to do this, either do a new campaign or potentially do another ad group later. But you can actually put your stuff on specific YouTube channels. If I go to YouTube channels and I can type in, like, again, for my made up metal example, I'll type in periphery. And you can just add your stuff onto all the channels that you know are related. There's actually a good amount. Contortionist, Metal Sucks, Sepultura, and yeah, I'll just go with those. So now you get a different kind of story up here, and I found that for this, it's really hard to run on certain placements. Like if you just don't put in a target here and you target everyone on a channel, it gets a little wacky targeting YouTube channels. I found you have to have like a really big amount of YouTube channels on here. You can't just put on one. You can also put on videos, but don't just put in one video. Your ad's just not going to run. So again, we're not doing this in this example here, but that's another thing you can play with in a separate ad group. So at this point, like, I would launch with this, and then we would go ahead and start doing the other stuff. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to click cancel, and I'm going to show you how you would do that placement. So we're going to click onto my You Discover ad. We have our ad groups. If I wanted to make a new ad group, I can just click New, and then I can make a brand new ad group here. And there's a couple of different ways to do this. The way that I would probably do this is duplicate the first one and then tweak it, but you could also do it here. And you could also do the same thing where you could put a different video in here if you wanted to, but you know, you would set this up, you'd go into your placements and you'd put in YouTube videos and YouTube channels and title this like placements instead. So anyways, have fun messing with that. I hope you get a lot out of this video. If you want to learn how to set stuff up with Facebook ads, you can check this playlist here. And if you want to see my other video using Google ads, albeit a different type of campaign, you can check the bottom video right there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you later. Bye.